Ya, bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum semua. Terima kasih kerana sudah hadir pada pagi ini. Jadi kita akan tengok pagi ini chapter 2 lah. Chapter 2 iaitu network telecommunication. Okay. Network telecommunication ni basically allow the transmission of information over significant distances by electronic means lah. Which means that have packet and messages. It also have major components of telecommunication network, including transmitters, receivers, cable or wires, routers, switches, cell tower, and so on. Later we see in chapter 3 and 4. And then the key telecommunication technologies include circuit switching. Okay, we also learn packet switching, fiber optic, wireless transmission, and so on. Other than that, we also learn about 2G, 3G, 4G, 5G, Wi-Fi, and more. Other than that, the important concept include the bandwidth, latencies, throughputs, noise, analog versus digital, and so on. Later we discuss this one in the continuation chapter. Later, we also discuss the standards body like ITU, IEEE, IETF to develop some protocols and standards. Okay, so far do you have any question? Ada soalan ke setakat ni? Boleh ke? Okay, this one is the content of this blended learning lah. We have a concept of network, telecommunication network, internet revolutions, essential components, telecommunication medias, types of telecommunication network, and network topology. Boleh dengar suara ke?
Boleh.
Networking is the word people use when they're talking about connecting computers together so they can share data with each other and all connect to the internet at the same time. Let's take a closer look at the key components that make up a simple, easy to set up network. Think of a network as something similar to your body's central nervous system.
Boleh tak dengar?
Tak dengar.
Ha?
Tak dengar. Suara video ke?
Video.
Oh tak.
Ini boleh dengar ke? Boleh dengar ke suara?
Networking is the word people use when they're talking about connecting computers together so they can share.
Ha? Tak dengar juga?
Tak dengar. Boleh nanti sound tak dengar juga kan?
Share data with each other and all connect to the internet at the same time. Let's take a closer look at the key components that make up a simple, easy to set up network. Think of a network as something similar to your body's central nervous system. At the top of the network is a brain. It handles all
Kalau nanti yang ni awak tengok sini lah, dekat ni, dekat YouTube. Okay, basically apa yang dia kata ni networking lah. Networking ni apa itu networking? Contohnya dia nak berhubung antara satu dengan yang lain lah. Itu dia namakan sebagai networking lah. Simple, easy step and network. Okay, contohnya yang kat sini kalau kita tengok kita punya body nerve system, dihubungkan dengan otak lah. Otak ni kita ada router dan kita ada ni lah, saraf tunjang, kita ada ni hub dan sebagainya lah yang menghubungkan komputer-komputer di sekeliling lah. Okay, ini antara penerangan ringkas lah. Okay, nanti kamu tengok lah video yang ni lah. Boleh Siapa yang bawa masuk tadi? Okay. Next time pastikan datang awal. Kita ada modem dan kita hubungkan melalui ni lah, router. Okay. Kemudian daripada router tu kita akan connect kepada devices lah. Contohnya kita ada komputer, kita ada printer.
And how does it enable your computers to share information with each other? The answer lies with that device we mentioned earlier, a switch. A switch sends traffic through your network.
Okay, switch ni akan send signal lah pada device-device yang kita hubungkan tadi lah. Okay, jadi concept of network Okay, concept network ni simple je. Very simple. Means interconnected or interrelated chain, group or system lah. And then it also devices in a network are connected through cables, Wi-Fi connection. Dia dihubungkan melalui kabel lah, Wi-Fi connection or other medias lah. Common connection that we have here, like Ethernet, fiber optic, Wi-Fi and so on lah. And then the concept of networking can be expressed as mathematical information that will calculate the numbers of possible connections through the devices or interaction in one-way communication environment. This is the formula dia. Okay, after connected to network, the user can also share files, media, hardware like printers over the network. It also connected to the servers that provide the data storage, email, website, share program to network clients. And then network also happen through networking protocol like TCP, IP and so on. Later I will discuss that one. Okay, in essence, a network leverage connection between devices to allow for useful communications and also resources. Okay, this one is a telecommunication network. This one is the work process is like terminals. The links are connected so as to enable telecommunication between the terminals. And then the nodes uses the circuit switching, message switching or packet switching to pass the signal through the correct links and nodes to reach the correct destination terminals. Okay, so far ada question ke? Okay, and then each terminal in network usually use a unique address, so the messages or connection can be go through to correct recipient. Okay, telecommunication also uses two or multiple geographical location using electromagnetic signal or carriers. So the signal can be carried over through copper wires like pulses over the fiber optics. Okay, for example, we have uh, internet service provider like TMNet, Time, Udo, and so on. Okay. Okay, this one is telecommunication, how telecommunication works. Okay, network works. First, it have some of terminals or user station. Okay, like here we have users. Okay, user in the desktop. Okay, user in the phone. Okay, user in the uh, mainframe and so on. Okay, this one is channeling all the bandwidth, bitrate, delay, noise, and attenuations which impact transmission quality. Okay, the node also impact the transmission quality if the node is not very stable. Okay, in summary, we can say that telecommunication network enable data exchange by establishing connectivity between sender and also receiver. Okay, example of telecommunication networks, computer networks, we have the internet, the telephone network, and so on, IP, internet protocol for telephone networks. And then the trend in telecommunication, we can see now the industrial also have the industry trend towards the telecommunication and provided some of the AI elements. Okay, and then also we have technology trends towards the use of the internet, fiber optics, and so on. We can use the internet and be able to call, to receive the WhatsApp call, and then we can also have Google Meet and so on. And then the application trends toward the basic use of the internet. We can also collaborate between company to company, company to business, company to users. Okay, this one is business values telecommunication network. Please read this one. Okay, we have example or e-business example and business values. Okay, and then we have internet versus the intranet versus the extranet. Okay, internet, as you can see, is basically the connection between all users in the world. Okay, uses the internet. Okay, and then we have intranet, which means that you can use locally. For example, we have MySafe and also My Guru. This one is an example of intranet. Okay, and then we have extranet. Extranet, we have okay, intranet, but it between the, for example, we have UPSI in Tanjung Malim, and then we have UPSI in Teluk Intan. That one is we call it extranet. A private network that uses internet protocol. It can be accessed by authorized users outside the company, like business collaborators. This one for extranet. Okay, this one is internet revolution. We can have you need to read this one. I will not explicate this one in detail. Okay, the popular use of the internet nowadays, we can see ChatGPT rising, and then we have AI, generative AI, and so on. The student must upskill their skill. For example, they must also have the skills to emails, to search the informations, and then to publish some articles and so on. Other than that, for entrepreneurships skills, they also have the additional skill like buying and selling the product, and then also you must also set up your own business, okay, entrepreneurship skills and so on. Other than that, the uses of internet, you can also download and upload your assignment and so on. This one is general use of the internet. Okay, internet also interrelated with businesses. As you can see here, we have a business partner, customers, remote office, suppliers, inventory management system, and headquarters. And this one is also interconnected between each others. And then we have intranet. Intranet basically is a private network that can be accessible through organization or company. It is a firewall from the public internet, which means that you can access only from the organization. For example, my UC and my SIS, my guru also. Okay, the common use of intranet organization policies, employment record, shared devices, and internet internal tools. Okay, the that one it is protected by password or firewall to protect your data from outside hacker and crackers. Okay, and then example of internet we have Hello Packard that have 88,000 employees in 115 countries can access HP internet. Another example is Boeing. Boeing offers over 200,000 employees training via the Center of Leadership. This one is example of intranet. Ya, ada soalan ke? Boleh ke? Okay, sekejap je kelas saya ni. Saya tengok 36 Kita punya kelas ada 38. Ada yang tak hadir lagi. Tak apalah, sekejap lagi saya ambil attendance. Okay, for intranet, we have a company directory, and then document sharing, HR system, human resource, and then we have IT system, communications. Likewise, you can see here in the figures, we have communication and collaboration, we have web publishing, this one business operation and management, and then we have internet portal management. This one is the general benefit or role of intranet. Okay, and then we have extranet. Okay. Okay, extranet are a private intranet that extend the use of intranet. Basically, this one also use the authorized users to key in their username and password. But this one is it can be accessed outside the company. It can accessible to authorized outsiders, and then extranet also connect the internet between two or more business partners. Okay, for example, a company may have a extranet portal to share information or tools with its supplier and distributors only. Okay, extranet extend the company intranet to securely collaborate with the selected outsider parties while keeping up the inaccessibility to general internet users. This one is the extended version of intranet. Okay, common example of extranet application. For example, we have inventory control system to share order or delivery with supplier, project planning platform for joint work with partner firms, customer support ticketing system, and etc. Okay, extranet also make the customer and supplier access of intranet resources a lot easier and much faster. Okay, this one is example of extranet. The role of extranet, we have consumer, business, consumer, supplier, distributors, and so on. Okay, this one is a table that distinguish intranet, extranet, and internet. Okay, this one is history of internet.
The Internet in the year 2009. We send emails, make calls over the Internet, and discuss topics we take an interest in.
Okay, dia kata dalam tahun 2009 kalau kita lihat penggunaan email tu dah meluas lah. Tapi pada masa tu
Even our banking is going virtual. But what we take
masa tu banking pun dah mula buat visual lah. Contohnya dia dah ada set up Maybank to you, CIMB dan sebagainya lah.
for granted today was only a vague idea 50 years ago. In order to understand how we got this far, let's
Jadi
go
dia
back
kata
to
50 tahun
1957
dulu
when
kita dah ada kemungkinan untuk kita buat internet ni lah. Jadi dia bermula kalau macam 2009 50 tahun, sekarang 2024 mungkin dah 60 tahun 60 tahun dulu diorang dah initiate program lah untuk
before
internet.
1957, computers only worked on one task at a time. This is called batch processing.
Okay, kalau macam dulu dia kata komputer ni digunakan hanya untuk satu proses lah, yang juga dinamakan sebagai batch processing lah. Maksudnya satu task sekali buat lah. Contohnya kalau macam kamu nak type, kamu boleh type je lah. Kamu tak boleh buat internet surfing dan sebagainya lah.
This was quite ineffective. With computers getting bigger and bigger, they had to be stored in special cooled rooms. But then the developers couldn't work directly on the computers anymore.
Jadi dia kata kalau disebabkan oleh dia boleh buat satu task untuk setiap masa tu, dia kena buat satu-satu. Jadi dia perlukan bilik pengawal dingin yang agak besar lah. Sebab dia panas. Kita tak boleh buat multitasking macam sekarang ni. Kita boleh bercakap, ya, kita boleh tengok slide dan sebagainya. Nanti kamu tengok sini ya video ni. Jadi perkara penting dalam komponen telecommunication network ni, kita ada beberapa komponen lah. Contohnya komputer, terminals, okay. Kita ada perisian, kita ada processor dan kita ada media lah. Okay, contohnya kat sini we have 5 basic component. Okay, we have PCs, we have telecommunication processor and channel, and then we have software that support for computers. Okay, this one is explanation. Computer, what is computers? Okay, that one include the host computers, front end processor, and mini computers. And then we have terminals. Terminals are also defined as input-output devices. That can be used as the telecommunication networks to transmit the data. And then telecommunication network software, we have software that supported the networking terminals. Okay, for example, here we have OpenViews. It's a network management software system. And then we have processors. We have modem and switches. Modem is modulation and demodulation. It's abbreviations. And then switches also used in wired network to connect Ethernet cables in big numbers. Okay. Okay, and then we have modulation and demodulation. This one is for modem. Okay, so far do you have any question? Ada soalan ke setakat ni? Boleh ya? Okay, nanti this week I also next week I also uploaded your first assignment lah. Kamu kena buat tugasan pertama lah. Okay. And then we have midterms. Okay. Lepas tu nanti yang ni nanti saya akan upload dekat YouTube. Ada soalan ke Akil? Tak ada soalan.
Tak ada.
Okay, and then telecommunication channel, we have wired transmission and wireless transmission. This one is wired. Basically, you need to use physical. Wireless transmission, you use wireless transmission. Okay, and then we have telecommunication medias. This one is, for example, we have LAN cable. Use the twisted cable like this. Why we use the twisted cable? Because it is inexpensive and widely available. Okay, for the concealed cable is hard to wire in many buildings like this one lah. This one more expensive because the material used lah. They use the metallic and plastic jacket also with a dielectric insulator. This one must have a insulator okay, to protect the users. Okay, and then we have a classical cable versus the HDMI cable. You can read this one. For example, for classical is low standard definition. For HDMI, we have high definition. Okay, and then we have fiber optics. This one is the greatest capacity of telecommunication medias. It passes the data more quickly and more easily. Uh, okay, but it can cost very huge amount of money, more expensive and very hard to install because it is more fragile and more delicate to handle. Okay, this one is telecommunication medias. We have twisted pair, we have coaxial cable, and then we have fiber optic cable. This one is differentiation. Twisted pair is much cheaper. Coaxial cable is in between twisted pair and fiber optic cable, but fiber optic cable is much more expensive. Okay, for the telecommunication media, later we see this one in detail. For example, satellite and cellular. I elaborate this one later in chapter 3 and 4. Okay, and then we have microwave. The microwave used for TVs and radios like this one. We have antennas. It also carry out the high volume of data. This one is very expensive. This one for long term transmission. Then we have communication satellite. Okay, communication satellite. We have this one is very expensive compared to microwave. Yeah, the signal weaken over long distances. Between it, period, it has a period time. For example, it useful for only 7 to 10 years. Okay, this one is microwave transmission. We have uplink and downlink. Okay, for the orbiting satellites. Okay, then we have cellular phones. Okay, transmitted voices or data. Okay, now we have telecommunication media.
How does the internet work? The video you are watching now has a significant. You can consider the IP address similar.
Okay, later you see this one, telecommunication media. I will upload this one to Padlet because my guru limited the uploading size. It only allow us to upload around 4 megabyte only. Okay, that's why I created Padlet. Okay, this one characteristic of communication media. We have twisted pair, optical cable, fiber optic, microwave, and cellular. You can read this one. Twisted pair is expensive, but it uh, translate both analog and digital. Here we have until the cellular requires no cabling, provide more mobile voices and limited distances. Here we have a telecommunication network including P2P, VPN, LAN, MAN, and WAN. One you have learned in previous class. I think you have learned this one in previous class. Okay, WAP protocol, which means that wireless application protocol. Okay, from your smartphone connected to the tower, communication tower, and then proxy filters and web servers. Okay, and then we have peer-to-peer network. Okay, we have network computing and so on. We need to summarize and do some reflection in Padlet. Okay, we have VPN. VPN is a virtual private network. Is basically used as a backbone that relies on the firewalls. You can see here it protects the data from the hackers and so on. Okay, and then it also protected the data from external threat lah. Okay, we have LAN. LAN is connected via computers and other information like workstation, office, classroom, and so on. We have LAN. Okay, this one basically for intranet. Then we have MAN. Networks covers the large cities. For example, we have factory here. And then we have branches office at Rawang and KL. We use the MAN. Okay, telecommunication networks again for one is covering a large geographical area. For example, we have uh, branches at Singapore, London, and Australia, and also USA. Okay, topologies we have bus, ring, and star. This one is very basic topologies. Okay, bus is like uh, like this is arranged by parallel. Parallel mean that every station in a row. Okay, and then we have advantage and disadvantage of bus topologies. Advantage is easy to install, but doesn't require much cable. Disadvantages is one workstation fail. Other network or other devices or other terminal can be slower. Okay, then they introduce the ring networks topologies. This one is more on equal basis. Okay, it cater the disadvantages of fast network topologies, but disadvantage of ring topology is unidirectional ring. The data packet must pass through all the nodes. Okay, for example, here must pass all the nodes. Okay. Okay, and then we have number three. We have style topologies. Okay, this one ties end user computer to a central network. Okay, basically it's the same like ring topology, but this one is more likely stable. Advantage less damage in the case of single computer will fail. And then disadvantage is requires lots of central servers. And then single point of failure in case of server get down. Then we have a network architecture protocol. We have layers. We have 7 layers. Okay, please to see and reflect in the Padlet what you have learned today. Okay, any question? Ada soalan ke? Kita upload lah. Okay, later I will upload